Stream. Stream. Shalom, shalom. All right, we're good. Okay, so first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Arakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth. Peace and blessings to the hopefully elect, the 144,000 men pushing the truth and wholehearted sincerity across the four winds. It's the Ike from the GMS Germany camp through the Spirit and Power behind Bahashem, Yahushai. Back with another lesson. You know, Lord willing, this is an edifying lesson. All right, and you saw the title, The Gathering, the Restoration, Gathering, and everlasting joy awaits us. All right. So we just need to stay the course. And what do I mean by that? I mean that the Heavenly Father has been gathering us. All right. The whole world knows that the small hatters aren't really who they say they are. They are not the true biblical people that the scriptures speak about. All right. So the Heavenly Father is going to do what? He's gathering us. He's gathered us out of the four corners of the earth. He's gathered us from being Gentiles, you know, from being cast out. And yes, I mean Gentile. All right. There are two types of Gentile: natural born Gentile and a Hellenized Gentile, or a Hellenistic Gentile. All right. Who didn't know that doesn't know who he is. Okay. So let's get some precepts, man. Isaiah chapter 11, verse 12. All right, I had put these precepts down. I didn't even pull it up. I was so excited to do the lesson. I just started. So bear with me when I pull them, okay? All right, this is Isaiah chapter 11 and verse 12. Let me start at 11. It's Isaiah 11 and 11. Restored remnant. Subtitle. The restored remnant. Isaiah 11 and 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people. The first time was during the Egyptian slavery, all right, the first Exodus, okay? So the Lord is going to do what? He's going to do it again and recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the isles of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. You see? So the Heavenly Father is doing what? He's showing you that in these times, he's gonna in that day, he's gonna gather all of us, man. And he has been. He's been laying the foundation for that gathering. Okay? All right? So that restoration is coming. Okay? And it's long awaited. It's long awaited. You know, it's long desired. You know, it's long hoped for. Why? Because we're living hell. All right, this place is living hell here, man. Okay, this is not a place of peace and righteousness and holiness. No, this is a place of wickedness, corruption, deceitfulness, lies, and suffering. All right, so this is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 31. Subtitle: The Glorious Return. Hold on, let me start at 29. All right. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heaven shall be shaken. All right. This is talking about these nations. All right. These nations going fall out of their power seat. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. All right. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. All right. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. You see? So that gathering is coming. Okay? That gathering is coming. We're laying the foundation of, the Heavenly Father is using who? Satan to expose what? The righteous and the wicked. All right? To expose the wicked and test the righteous. Okay? And we're almost there, man. Hold on. This is Baruch Salakia. Ah, yeah, that's Salakia. I gotta go to this other app, Salakia. Baruch chapter 5 and verse 5. Baruch chapter 5. Go there. All right. Baruch chapter 5 and verse 5. Arise, O Jerusalem, and stand on high, and look about toward the east, and behold, thy children gathered from the west unto the east, by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the remembrance of the Most High. You see? So we right now, we've been looking. We're looking for Yahweh Shai to return, man. The scriptures tell us that he's going to come like a strike of lightning from the east. All right, by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in remembrance of the Most High. And that's what we're doing right now. We're rejoicing because this word has brought us into remembrance of Yahweh Shem Shai. This word, this understanding has brought us back into remembrance of our law, statutes, and commandments. Okay? We're not left in darkness anymore. Okay? The Heavenly Father has showed mercy upon us, and he's allowed us to do what? To preach and prophesy in his name. All right, to feed his elect in his name, to be of a hopeful elect. That's a beautiful lot. All right, but we're a part of prophecy. We're a part of prophecy. Okay, we're a part of prophecy being made manifest, because it says that, right? Arise, O Jerusalem, and stand on high, and look about toward the east. And behold, thy children gathered from the west unto the east by the word of the Holy One. And that's what you're doing. You can go on YouTube right now and look all over the world. You see Great Millstone. All over the four corners of the earth, bringing out precepts and scriptures. All right. Doing what? Remembering Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right. Which is part of prophecy. Okay. Salakia. Let me go back. Just made a mistake there. Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 34. Hold on. This is acting a little crazy right now, huh? You want to act crazy now? Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 3 and 4. This is, that then the Lord Yahweh, thy power, will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations, whither the Lord Yahweh, thy power, has scattered thee. If any of thine be driven out into the outermost parts of heaven, from thence will the Lord Yahweh, thy power, gather thee, and from thence he will fetch thee. All right. And the Lord Yahweh, thy power, will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it. And he will do good to thee and multiply thee above thy fathers. So this is a prophecy that's going to be fulfilled. All right. See? So when that good is coming upon us, that everlasting joy is what we're going to get. All right. You think the words of the Heavenly Father is for naught? You think they're void? You think they're not going to be held true? No. What the Heavenly Father has spoken will come to pass, man. It will. This is Isaiah chapter 35 and verse 10. And the ransomed of Yahweh shall return and come to Zion, right, with songs and everlasting joy upon their heads. They shall obtain joy and gladness, and sorrow and sighing shall flee away. That feeling that you feel here, knowing that you're in captivity, you're in hell, you hate it here. I hate it here. I hate it here. Yeah. Why? Because this place is not our rest. This is not our homeland. This is not ours. This is Esau's. All right, but we're going to have that everlasting joy when we are put in our rightful place. All right, and that's why I said you got to stay the course. All right, we got to finish this thing out. You can't hop off now when it's getting good. Just as it's starting to get good, you're going to cut off the movie. You know, that's like watching a movie, and just as it get good, you cut it off. You know, you're going to be thinking about it the whole day. You're like, I got to go finish that movie, man. I got to go finish that movie. You know, or I know me, I be watching the movie and I be afraid of the end. I don't want to, I be afraid of the ending, you know, so I just cut it off, and then they be like, did you finish it? Nah, I didn't, never watched the ending, you know. Why? Because you're afraid of the end. But this right here, the ending of this time, this thing that we're in, it's not going to be nothing that we're afraid of, man. We shouldn't be afraid of it. We should be happy. We should be rejoicing. Why? Revelation 21:4. And the Most High shall wipe away all the tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful. You see? I got goosebumps, man. I can't wait. I can't wait. I've witnessed my family struggle and cry and sigh about the horribleness, the hell that we've went through on this planet. Not understanding why things are the way that they are. You know, not understanding why Esau treats Jake the way that he does. You know, if this don't get you pumped up, I don't know what will. Let me read it again. Revelation 21:4. And the most high shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And that's what we're desiring. Everything has to be renewed, kainos, refreshed, of a new kind. Because everything that Esau has touched has been defiled, violated. Because that's who he is. Okay? Let's get another precept. Psalms, chapter 16:11. Psalm 16:11. King James 16:11. I always see stuff like that. Let me start at verse 1. It's 11 precepts. Let me read it, man, because it's beautiful. It's the Lord's promised portion in life and deliver in death. Michtam of David. Preserve me. This is Psalm 16:1. Preserve me, O Yahweh, for in thee do I put my trust. O my soul, thou hast said unto the Lord Yahweh, thou art my Lord. My goodness extendeth not to thee, but to the saints that are in the earth, and to the excellent in whom is all my delight. Their sorrow shall be multiplied, that hasten after another God. The drinks offerings of blood would I not offer, nor take up their names into my lips. The Lord Yahweh is the portion of mine inheritance and of my cup. Thou maintainest my lot. The lines are fallen unto me in pleasant places. Yea, I have a goodly heritage. I will bless the Lord Yahweh, who has given me counsel. My reins also instruct me in the night seasons. I have set the Lord Yahweh always before me, because he is my right hand, and I shall not be moved. Therefore my heart is glad, and my glory rejoiceth. My flesh also shall rest in hope. For thou wilt not leave my soul in hell, neither wilt thou suffer thine Holy One to see corruption. Thou wilt show me the path of life. In thy presence is fullness of joy, and at thy right hand there are pleasures forevermore. You see? That's that's for us, man. Okay? Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is our everything. And if we put him at the forefront of everything in our lives, you can't go wrong. Okay? But to the saints that are in the earth, to the excellent, in whom is all my delight. That's us, man. Yeah, we're gonna go through things. Yeah, you're gonna because we were worshiping other gods. We were following after other customs. But now the Heavenly Father has done what? Woke you up with his prophets, with his men, and put the understanding into your mind, into your hearts. All right? And this is that joy that is going to come upon us. All right? When you read this, it should excite you. It should get your, get the spirit moving. You know what I mean? You know? Second Esdras is the next precept. Second Esdras, chapter 2 and verse 42 to 48. 42. Salakia. This is Second Esdras chapter 42 and verse 48. I, Esdras, saw upon the Mount Zion a great people, whom I cannot number, and they all praised the Lord with songs. And in the midst of them there was a young man of high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. So I asked the angel, and said, Sir, what are these? And he said unto me, These be they that put off the mortal clothing, and put on immortal, and have confessed the name of the Most High. Now they are crowned and receive palms. Then I said unto the angel, What young person is that crowneth them, and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of the Most High, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Then the angel said unto me, Go thy way, and tell my people what manner of things and how great wonders of the Lord, thy power, thou hast seen. That's talking about Yahushai crowning the elect, man. Okay? And that's what's coming. That's what's coming. So fuck this place, man. Forget these things. All right? We got to stand firmly for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. We got to confess his name into the four corners of the earth like we've been doing. Don't quit. Don't fail. If you fall, get the fuck back up. Dust yourself off. You know? There is no time to just, woe is me. If you have that spirit, woe is me spirit, you got to shake that shit off. Shake them haters off. Shake it off, man. You know why? You got Yahweh Bashem Yahushai in your corner. You got brothers like me preaching and praying and hoping for your success. All right? I pray for every brother that is in this truth that he may receive that crown. I pray for every brother that is in this truth that falls, that fails, that fucks up, that has demons in his ears saying you're not enough. I pray for you, bro. I pray for you, Ak. Yahweh Shai pray for you. You can't fail. You just got to keep going. You got to get up. You got to get up. You got to shake it off. You got to get that fire burning. Ask yourself, are you excellent? Are you excellent? Are you the excellent? Are you the ones who are going to stand firmly for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai? To put on that mortal? Take out, are you going to stay in the mortal clothing or you want immortal clothing? I want immortal clothing. I don't want to be mortal. I want something that when I put it on, nobody can touch it. I'm the only one that has it. And the elect are going to be the only ones that have what we have, are going to have. You know? All right. Okay. Let me get some more. Because those crowns, hey, those crowns are going to be amazing. Let me get James chapter 1 and verse 12. James chapter 1 and verse 12. And we close it out with some, I think, 3 more precepts. This is James chapter 1 and verse 12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation. For when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to him that love him. You see, it's promised unto you if you love the Lord. And how do you love the Lord? By keeping the Lord's commandments. By trying to keep them to the best of your ability. You see, you're fighting against that flesh. It ain't gonna be easy, bruh. It ain't gonna be easy, but you can do it. You can do it. It ain't impossible. With the Heavenly Father, all things are possible, right? So if you keep him at the forefront of your mind and forefront of your heart, and you rely on him, why won't he bring what you need to pass? He will. Okay? This is Revelation chapter 3 and verse 11. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my power, and he shall go out no more. And I will write upon him the name of the Most High, and the name of the city of my power, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my power, and I will write upon him my new name. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit hath said unto the churches. You see? That's we're gonna have to overcome, and you're gonna be made a pillar in the Lord's temple, man. In that tabernacle of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, you're a pillar. You know? Beautiful. We just gotta hold on. Okay? This is the last precept. I'm gonna close it out. This is 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 8. 2 Timothy 4 and 8. Henceforth there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day, and not to me only, but to all them that also love his appearing. All right? To all them that love his appearing. They're going to be sad. They're going to be people that don't want to see Yahweh Shai, but we're going to be rejoicing. Okay? So with that, Lord willing, this is edifying. And again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Arukakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth. Peace and blessings to the hopefully elect, the 144,000 men pushing the truth and wholehearted and sincerely across the four winds. Until next time, Shalom.